Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the 13th week of the spring 2016 semester. So, this is the last week before spring break. This also, believe it or not, is the last week you're going to have to do a reading and do a posting on it. And the only author we've got this week is Salman Rushdie. So, I think you're going to enjoy Rushdie. I think you're going to be enlightened by his essay about the Dream England and how it's hard to define what a British writer is anymore because of the imperialism that we studied at the end of the Victorian period. Because being a British writer could mean being born in England, it could mean being born in India. Shebe was born in Nigeria. So there are all these countries now that have British influence in them and that speak and write in English, and people are telling stories. And what you're going to find when you read The Prophet's Hair is that some of the Indian influence is going to appear in Rushdie's story. It's going to be the prophet, by the way, that his hair is going to be Muhammad. So having a vial of Muhammad's hair is going to cause all kinds of magical things to happen, and most of them are really, really bad. So that's going to influence his story, and it's going to kind of redefine what British literature means. It's also going to be nice to read a British author who's still alive. And so with Rushdie, we get that as well. Now, he's an old man, but he is still alive. So that's that reading. The other important thing I want you to note is that I've posted the instructions for the research paper in the research paper folder. And there are a ton of resources in that research paper folder to help you write a good research paper and to help you get a good grade on it. Now, the first step is going to be the annotated bibliography. Now, notice that the due date on the annotated bibliography is this Friday, which is April 1st. That's kind of flexible because next week we have spring break. And what I really don't want you to have to do is do any work over spring break. So I'd say get that Rushdie reading done, go ahead and get that posting done, and then work on doing some research. Now, bear in mind that the instructions to the research paper folder are in that research paper folder. I'm sorry, the instructions to the research paper are in that research paper folder. So when you go into that research paper folder, take a look at the instructions and read them closely. This is going to be a 4 to 6 page paper, which ends up being somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 words. That does not include the works cited page. So a 3-page paper where the works cited page does not count as 4 pages. Notice there's a minimum of 3 sources, and here's the important thing. This is what I really want you to understand about this research paper. You are not doing your research on Google at all. At all. You are doing all of your research either through Gill or through Galileo. Now, what you need to also understand about that is that this is an extension of one of your postings. I'm going at some point to make a video about the research paper, and I'm going to go ahead and post that. Now, there is already an annotated bibliography video posted. So that annotated bibliography video you need to watch because it will tell you, in conjunction with some of the annotated bibliography stuff that's in the research paper folder. And I've got 3 resources in there for that. I got one from IUPUI, Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis. Yeah, so IUPUI. And then one from the Purdue Owl. And then I've got a sample annotated bibliography that looks like what I'm expecting. And it'll have in the annotations what I'm expecting. That annotated bibliography video will help you with that. So pay attention to that video as you do that annotated bibliography. If you get it done and turned in by Friday, you can have spring break off because I probably won't comment on those annotated bibliographies till we get back from spring break. I will, of course, grade your postings before we get back from spring break. But I will also at some point, probably during spring break, make a video that will tell you what you can expect to do on the research paper. And that'll be something that you'll need to pay attention to as well. So, that's this week's stuff. Next week, you can relax. As long as you get that annotated bibliography done by Friday, you can relax, enjoy your spring break, at least in my class. Now, I don't know what your other instructors are going to have you doing. But if you get that Rushdie posting done, and you're caught up on your postings, and you get that annotated bibliography done, you can take a deep breath, you can go to Florida, you can go to the mountains up in North Georgia, you can go wherever you want to, and not have to worry about my class. So I kind of want you to get that anti-bibliography and that Rusty posting done in a timely fashion. So that's it for this week. Remember, again, if you have any questions, email, call, or if you happen to be in the Albany area, stop by and visit my office. And on that note, have a great week.